rhymes with haters. What do we say to our haters?
What?
We say, that's not cool.
That's not cool.
You heard it from the best.
Slowly dying.
This is the Slowly Dying Podcast.
Hey guys, what's poppin'? It's Becca.
And Bronte.
Hey Bronte, what's up?
Hey, y'all.
So, it's such a nice day out, guys.
I know, it really
we're
is.
We're talking about a juicy topic today.
I think a lot of people are going to listen to this one.
Hopefully, yeah. So, we're talking about haters.
Uh-huh.
And we're going to get real with you guys.
I'm so excited for this one.
Definitely got a couple stories and stories about like how when we started the podcast we had haters.
Yes.
I feel like you cannot escape haters.
Never.
They're everywhere and pretty much there's nothing you can do.
Nope.
Because they just going to keep on hating.
Yep. And a quote that my mom always told me was, not everyone in your life is going to like you. And when I finally understood that quote,
Yeah.
I felt so much better.
That's a good quote, actually.
Yeah.
I feel like there's a lot of good quotes.
And you can't control it. You can't control anyone else's emotion. As long as you are, or opinion, I should say, as
Yeah.
long as you're respectful and nice, it's...
Yeah, just because you hate on something doesn't mean it's facts. So.
Yeah.
And
Ooh, that's a good
facts.
one.
Hey.
So I hope everyone likes this post. I hope everyone, or some of you, relate to it. And I hope some of those people who are haters get a reality check.
They probably the one listening right now.
Right now.
They're going to be like the first few listeners.
They'll be like, refresh, refresh, refresh.
And it's funny because haters, like, it's like they're your biggest fans.
Mm-hmm.
They, like, you can't, I feel like sometimes you can't escape them, but they're always going to be there and they just keep on hating.
Yeah. And sometimes it's not even you that they hate. They hate the reflection that they see, that they want in you.
Yeah, it's like jealousy. It's like they want something that you have or you've worked for, and they get mad, so they start hating, thinking that they're going to tear somebody down.
Yep.
And most of the time that doesn't work because, you know,
All the time.
it's crazy.
I can probably list 5 right now, but...
We can't say names, guys, all right? Like, I
Nope.
know you want us to say names, but if we're telling you, well, some of our school people, you'll know the names. But we're not using names.
Yeah.
But,
Not at all. And hey, this is not to, like, single out specific people. It's just, on a whole, there just should be less hate and more support. It's just so much more refreshing when you have supporters rather than haters. Like, that negative energy can go.
yeah. And, you know, if you see somebody doing great, don't hate on them. Try to get on their level.
Yeah.
Try to, you know, but...
The support
Sometimes
is just...
hating is good, though, because I feel like like with me, like when people like, oh, I hate her because of this or that, or I'm jealous, or whatever the situation might be, it fuels me. I'm like, oh, well, you know, I must be doing something right because they're hating on me, so...
That's a good way to look at it.
I mean, it's never good, but you know what I mean. Sometimes it's like...
No, it's just like, okay, if you want to hate on me, you're going to hate on me even more. Just wait until you see what I got.
Yeah.
And I think they would just... I don't know, like just the amount of negative that there is. If like half of those people turn that into positive
They would
energy,
probably go somewhere.
they probably feel better about themselves.
They would. And that brings me into another point is they hate, like, I feel like when people hate on each other, they're jealous, but then it's like it's not you, it's them.
Mm-hmm.
It's something wrong with them, inside them.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and they need to work on that. So, if somebody's hating on you guys, you know...
Keep going.
Keep going. Use it as fuel.
Unless you're being rude, then
Yeah.
don't be rude.
Then check yourself. Come on now, people.
yeah, be respectful,
Don't be
nice.
a hater by being a hater, all right?
Yeah, that's never going to be good at all. Sometimes how you combat a hater
Yeah.
is being nice.
It pisses off.
It pisses them off.
more.
Even more. And they got nothing to say. They sound dumb.
Yeah.
When someone's like, well, why do you hate them? Oh, they're just so nice.
Oh, they're
How
just
stupid
so
does that sound?
smart, or they're so this, and I'm like, nobody says that, guys.
Yeah.
You know, and they usually hate behind closed doors, and I feel like haters, like I feel like a lot of our listeners are, maybe not all of them, but you know, a good chunk of them might be haters. They're trying to see like, oh, is Becca and Bronte gonna fail?
Is this just like a one-time fling thing?
And it's like they're giving us views, so keep doing it, guys.
Fine with us. And thank you to all our supporters.
Yeah, that's true. Thanks, guys. We appreciate it. And we get messages like every 15 minutes. It's crazy, guys. Like, we're on Snapchat. We reached 5,000 friends on Facebook, or request or whatever that we accepted. So shout out to you guys. Thank you. We have over 1,000 friends on Snapchat, and they're from all around the world.
We look at the map, and it's really cool.
Like, United Kingdom. Like, I feel like everywhere we have people. So people are listening. So
Korea.
Yeah.
What's up, Korea?
What's up, Korea?
It's really, really cool.
And of course, our super fan, W.
Oh my gosh.
He's hilarious. I can't with him. He's so funny.
My brother loves our super fan.
He's kind of cute, though.
Ooh,
I think he's
Don't let
cute.
him hear you say that.
I think he's cute.
He doesn't know.
Yeah.
That's funny.
But don't be posting what's your address, guys. It's not cool on our photos. Like, okay, show me some love, but I'm not giving you my address, bro. Like, calm down. Yes, I'm single, but I am not ready to mingle. I'm working on myself. Me and my son are happy. So.
Dang. Yeah.
Yes.
No, that's
personal right there.
You know what? Speaking of our podcast.
I've never been this happy in my life.
Oh, that's so nice.
Sorry.
You look happy, though.
Thanks. I'm a little sunburned right now, so I got a blanket on me. Cause
you're not letting the haters get to you.
No.
Not at all. But you know what? Going on about when we were starting up the podcast. Oh my God. The messages, and even messages from people that we knew, knew of, it was hate, but it was just so much doubt as well.
And that was surprising because those are people we know or know of. You know what I mean?
Yeah. We don't get us wrong. We've had a good number of people who have supported us, especially from our school. Like we were just at a birthday party yesterday.
Yes.
And everyone was asking like, "Oh my gosh, when's the next episode? Oh, we see all of this. We're so happy." And that's just so refreshing. But still, like, it's just the expectation that you hope that those few people would like it don't.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's maybe shallow for me to say, but this is like the day and age that we live in. We're all on social media.
It's our lives.
It's our lives. It is. And there is that support when you like that picture, or you don't even have to go all the way to comment, just liking. You're acknowledging that you see it. And that's even support in itself. And yeah, okay, there are the days that you're not on social media.
Yeah.
But every time, for a select few that I know, guaranteed, I'm on Instagram, and I know you see it. I know you do. Oh, yeah,
because you'll be liking other people's stuff. And it's like people purposely not like your stuff because, like, I get it. You're not going to like everyone's stuff, but, like, when you don't like when you like somebody's post for a couple months and then all of a sudden you don't like that post anymore, or that person's post for another couple months, it's like, okay, you definitely have a problem with them.
Yeah.
But you're too afraid to say. And haters they usually don't confront you.
No.
Because, I'll get into the story about the pork chops in a little bit, so you better keep listening, people.
I just almost lost it right there.
Oh my God, it's the craziest story, but...
Craziest story. Stay tuned for that one.
Yeah.
In just a couple minutes.
But, like, going back to what you said, like, the podcast, like, I just feel like we, especially, like, from the people we know, I mean, everyone's pretty good, but just liking our stuff, and not just from school, like, I just felt like we would have had a little bit more of that.
And
but it's all right. Like, it's not really that big of a deal, but it's just, like...
We would do the same in return.
Yeah.
And it goes not even us with our podcast, with everyone in general, with following and with other people. If you don't want to like my stuff, just unfollow me. I know you're following me because you're interested.
Yeah.
But if not, then why waste your time? I know fully well a good number of people who I've heard from other people, they're talking crap about me, but I'm just the classier one to not even give into it. If you're still running your mouth, you're still interested. And then still, okay, go ahead and follow. But I know you don't like my stuff probably for some immature issue.
Yeah.
And you don't want to confront me about it. And probably I don't even know what I did. Probably I did nothing. Like I had this one girl that I used to work with.
Oh, Lord.
It was when I used to bartend in Philly.
Yeah.
And
that sounds like such a cool job.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. I met so many great people serving and bartending.
I used to be a server, and I loved it.
It was a lot of fun.
Wasn't in Philly, it was in Exton, but...
It was still a lot of fun everywhere you go. And I made some great friends there. And this person, I vibed with very, very well. Mm-hmm. I thought... like, wow, like, we could be really, really good friends. Like, when you work 60 hours plus with someone...
it's like you're with them more than you are your family.
Yeah. And in that moment, it wasn't a moment. It was a blimp in time. But what we went through, it really almost tore me down. Because I used to struggle with this a lot. I used to be so paranoid about who liked me, what I did wrong, what I said... because I wanted everyone to like me almost, or I didn't want people to think I was a horrible person. Like it was, I know I'm a nice person, but in this phase of my life, I was getting out of that. And this coworker that I used to work with at a bar that we opened up, and don't mind the dog in the crate
She just ate, so...
she's hyped up.
Yeah, but...
So if you hear... barking and everything and rattling, that's her. But yeah, going back to her, I was so surprised because things happened in her life and it changed her life.
Yeah.
And she fully admitted that she had an issue for no apparent reason. I guess I was just the punching bag.
Yeah.
But it didn't stop after that.
That's not cool.
Didn't stop at all after that. And I tried to put myself in her shoes. After a while, I just couldn't.
Well, you can't take abuse.
No.
You can try to feel compassion for people and try to understand, and give them maybe a little bit of slack. But if it's starting to affect your life where you feel like you're becoming abused, and I've had this in my past relationships, like, you just feel like, you just want to, like, take all the pain away and all this, but you cannot be abused. You can't.
No.
Because then, how are you going to help anybody else?
Yeah.
When you can't think straight.
Exactly.
So
actually, after a little while after that, I'm not saying, like, it... Sorry, guys, we just threw the dog outside.
Yeah, she wanted to go outside, so we had to pause it for just a minute.
Yeah.
Plus, we got some water and pretzels. So.
Yeah. Love pretzels. So, yeah. So, I hate to say this, but one of the reasons why I left that job, and I was heartbroken too, because I truly loved the people that I worked with there.
Yeah.
Part of it was because of the toxic environment. And I don't want to say just her, but... I had a big problem with it, but it wasn't my only reason. But it's a shame to say because I don't want to say that haters have influenced decisions in my life. I like to think of it as I don't want to be around that negative environment because it just started to get to me and make me upset all the time and angry, and that's not who I am. So
yeah, you start to become like this different person.
Yeah. So I thought that was... I was sad about the decision, but I just knew I had no time to deal with it anymore. Like, I was done.
I'm glad you realized that, because some people don't realize it, or they realize it and then don't want to do anything about it.
Yeah, exactly.
So.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's just crazy. And I think another thing is crazy is, like, when I hear people, like, from school or, like, my friends, and they're like, oh, yeah, this person, we can't use names, or, like, was asking about the podcast. And I'm like, why didn't they just ask me about the podcast? You know what I mean? It's just crazy.
Yeah. And yeah, that really shocked me when we heard that. Because,
Yeah.
like, just come and ask us.
Mommy.
Willie, we're recording right now. We're talking about haters.
I did not jump on my trampoline.
Take 3.
All right, guys. I don't know what is going on with my son and little puppy today, but so I just think like it's very weird or confusing that like I'll get like my friends from school or like just like my friends in general, like they'll be like, oh yeah, this person, you know, because we can't use names, was asking about the podcast or was like, is that even real? Or, you know, where did we get the mics from? You know what I mean? Are we being sponsored by the mics?
Where
like,
do we
just,
get the money from?
Yeah, like things like that. And it's like, just ask us.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
just ask us.
I mean, like, I'm the chillest person. Like, just ask. So I think that was weird.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think they're hating. I just
No.
think it was very weird. But
Yeah, because it makes you think, are we not approachable?
yeah.
Haters make you think a certain way about yourself.
Yeah, that's true.
It's like,
They make you seem like you're this craziest person. And then when you call them out and saying, like, no, like, that's not who I am, then they get mad.
right, yeah, exactly.
And it's like, and then you get mad because they're, you know what I mean? It's just like this ending cycle. But
And it's funny because you may have one hater in your life that really brings you down. And sometimes you seem to forget that you have so many people lifting you up as well.
Yeah.
And the power of that one person, it's toxic.
it
but-
is toxic.
And that negative energy is not even worth it.
No.
So, but that was a good point that you brought up.
Yeah.
So, but
Oh, and another thing is like, I think I said this before, is like, when we get like all these messages from like people, mostly we don't know. And they're
Oh
like,
my
what
God.
are you doing? What are you about? How's your day going? And like, we can't answer all of them. Like, I have a full-time job. I'm a single mom. Like, you know, you have a full-time, we're busy. We have this is not our life. This podcast is not like the number one thing in our, like, my number one thing is my son. Like, I have other things to do besides answer messages.
mm-hmm.
You know, I can't do it 24 hours a day. And they get mad if we don't answer in a couple hours. And
Oh my gosh, I've never seen
they
anything
get
like it.
really mad.
Really mad. I understand now why people have people hired for
Yeah.
this job, because it's ridiculous. I've like, whoa, now I understand it. I'm
Yeah,
like, yo,
it's like a full-time, in like our Snapchats.
I'm like, yo, chill
Instagram
out.
hasn't been popping too much. Instagram's pretty chill though.
Yeah, we need to work on Instagram.
Instagram. But like, it's definitely Snapchat and stuff. But
Oh my gosh, it's like, how dare you not reply? I'm like, oh my god,
yeah,
I
it's
don't
only
even
been like
know
2
you.
hours. Only,
Yeah.
it's not like it's been a whole week, and I'm like, guys, we can't answer.
Yeah,
Like,
I'm like,
in the calling.
oh,
Guys, don't be calling us. We're not going to answer when you call us. Like, I mean, it's just, we can't, guys. So, don't be hating on us. We have other things to do in our lives.
that's a good point, because I completely forgot about that point.
Yeah.
It's exhausting.
Well, it's exhausting. It's tiring. And I can't, I'm the type of person when I'm messaging someone, I can message maybe like 1 or 2 other people. But if I'm messaging like 10 people at one time, I just feel like I can't, like, I get the conversations all mixed up. And
Yep.
I'm like, what? Wait, we were just talking about this. Now we're talking, it's too much.
Mm-hmm.
So, your biggest, if you ever want to reach us, just comment below on our post.
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't really go on Messenger too much.
No. And
I had
actually,
to
our
exit out
website
of
is
that.
going to go live.
Woo, woo.
We're going to have an email address. So,
Wait, what?
Yeah.
Hold on.
yeah, it's going to be down below. One of those things we're still working on it,
Yeah.
but it's going to be down there because there's just so many inboxes everywhere. I don't know
and-
what to do.
We are on Spotify. All episodes are on Spotify.
Yes.
Slowly Dying Podcast. Oh, and guess what, guys? We got reported on Facebook.
Ooh.
Yes, on our name, Slowly Dying. And you guys know why we named it Slowly Dying if you watched our first episode. If you guys don't know, go back to our first episode, the introduction. But, it's crazy. We got, well, you got it, I guess. You
Yeah.
checked it first.
It was, I don't know if it was the name, because when I called about it, the woman didn't really even know herself. I contacted the Facebook support, whatever.
What?
I was impatient. I don't know if it was after I assumed that because it was slowly dying. But other things in this world, other podcasts, other Facebook page are named much worse. So I didn't suspect
ours
it was
is
that.
true. We're slowly dying. Like, you know, it's not to offend anyone. I mean, we are dying. Like, that's just the reality. I mean, don't be hating on reality. And I feel like people don't like truth. Mm-hmm. They're like, that's a really good point. Is like, but I'm not trying to scare people. They're going to die. It's slowly dying, guys.
I say it every day.
Get it together. Like, we don't have time for this. Like,
Yeah.
so we had to, like, look in. Like, I remember you called me. You're like, oh, we might have to change the name. And I'm like,
We're not changing the name.
We ain't changing the name. There's nothing wrong with the name. That's our name, and that's it. Like, our name is poppin'. So,
because when I talked to the woman, nicest woman, by the way, on the support team, she said, I don't think that's it. It's just Facebook's not recognizing it as a real name. So if you see a switch up in the name, that's why. But I'm trying to figure it out. But even because that,
Instagram,
it's fine.
You know, or we get messages like, please don't die. And I think that they're just trying to be funny to get us to answer them.
Yeah.
But I'm like, you know.
No. It's just a lot.
But, all right, guys, I know you've been waiting on that pork chop story.
Please tell them this story.
Okay, so there's this other girl. We're just going to call her E, okay? Because we can't say her name, so we're just going to say E. So, you know, there's this one girl in our class that I feel like I don't know, I think she had, like, she was mad because she was repeating, and she, like, always was talking during class and, like, eating loud snacks and, like, just, like, being very obnoxious. And, you know, we're repeating, so we want to make sure we're understanding what we're missing. And, like, everybody was talking about it, and, like, nobody said anything. And, of course, me, I'm like, you know, I'm done. Even the teacher was, like, getting annoyed. So one day after class, because I didn't want to interrupt in class because I didn't want to be disrespectful. Because even though I have a loud mouth, I never want to be disrespectful unless I really need to. Because I would become very nasty. But anyway, so I, like, turn around to her and her friend, and I was like, hey, you know, if we cannot talk the rest of the semester, that would be great.
Whew.
And, like, she just, like, her face dropped. And I think she, like, ran over to her other friend and was talking or whatever. Well, I just left. So the next day, because we, you know, I told you guys we go to the gym in the morning. So I go in, and you were running to Starbucks.
Yes.
And so you were running a little bit later. Well, I walk in, and I had all, you know, my gym bag, my book bag, my books. I mean, you guys know it's nursing school. I got to bring my whole life with me. And I remember pushing the table because it looked like the table was pushed back. Well, I went to push it very gently to move it up. Well, the table just fell, and the whole class looked at me with this weird look. And I was like, okay, like, the table fell, like, nobody died, like, why is everyone looking at me? This one girl comes running up to me, helps me put the table in.
Shout out to her.
Yes, thank you. She's an LPN, rep the LPNs. But anyway, so, you know, I fixed the table. And I found out the table was locked. And she locked the table, like, the one side of the table, because she knew I was going to push it up, because it was way too back to be in the classroom. So she did that on purpose. Well, and then that, you know, that's one thing she did. Then now we're getting to the pork chops. That was just the introduction, people, about her. So she was mad because I told her, you know, you need to be quiet in the whole class, you know. So I remember I was in study group with you. Mm-hmm. And it was right before we had, like, a cardiac lecture thing. And you came to me. You went to Starbucks to get food or something. I feel like you're always at Starbucks.
I'm always at Starbucks.
Getting the coffee because you need I don't drink coffee, guys. I think it's nasty. But anyway, so I remember you coming back with a girl, and you're like, oh my gosh, I got to tell you something. You're going to be really mad. And I was like, oh no, like what? Because usually I don't really get mad too easily. And she's like, oh my God, that girl E called you a pork chop. And, you know, I have lost some weight because I was a little chunky, guys. But it's okay. Like, it's okay. And I remember it was kind of more of, like, shocked. I was like, we're adults. Like, you don't talk like that to people. And I remember saying, the first thing I think out of my mouth was like, actually, I made pork chops last night on the crock pot.
Yes.
For the first time, guys, it's so good. Put it in the crock pot and put like a little water and like whatever you want to put in there and put it on low for like 4 hours. But anyway, it was so good. And I was like, and I don't eat pork chops too much, but it was just like, that was my first reaction. But anybody else would have like probably cried or bawled.
I
like,
was
really
shocked.
Make sure like and I got pissed. I was ready for her. I was like, okay, where is she at? Like, where is she at? Because I was going to call her out in front of everyone. Because I'm not that type of person who will just keep quiet. I'm like, where is she at? I went in the halls looking for her, and she went home.
Yep.
Do you remember that?
I do. I was very shocked when the girl who approached me when I was at Starbucks, and I don't like that stuff altogether.
Yeah.
And I'm glad she told me. And we went to tell you, and she told you what E told her, and I thought your reaction was very justified. Not a lot of people will approach that person.
Well, and my thing is, it wasn't just about me getting my justice or whatever you want to call it. It was about, you need to shut that down, because if she said that to somebody who couldn't handle it, people be committing suicide about their weight.
Yep.
It's not, and it doesn't matter if you're chunky, you're not, or you're very skinny. You can't body shame nobody.
Nope.
You know what I mean? So I had to shut it down. And I'm going to admit, like, I thought about it. I was like, okay, well, maybe, you know. But it was like, and she's very skinny. But that, because she smokes like 6 packs a day, you know, and I remember messaging her on Messenger. I was like, it's funny how you're going to say all this stuff, and, you know, and lock the table and do all this, but you can't say nothing to my face. I said, next time I see you, I'm going to say it to your face. And I did. But, and then we had that quarantine and school got shut down. But it's just, it's not right.
No.
So don't be saying that stuff.
And who are you, honestly, to, you know, body shame someone because you felt a certain way because someone asked you or approached you about a complaint that was frequent throughout the whole semester.
Everyone was mad, but nobody said anything, because I think, you know, you don't want to cause conflict. That's not like natural.
And you are older as well.
Yeah.
Be an example. And also too, it's funny how we're in a profession of nursing and that is still going on. We're here to help people and uplift people, not bring them down. So
Well, and I think she had like a lot of personal issues at home, and that's really sad, and that's why I kind of just let it go. But it was just like, guys, that's not cool, and that's pretty much her hating.
Yeah.
You know, she's hating that I stood up for myself, and she's like, she probably wishes she could do that. And, you know, it's funny, because it's like, I don't know.
It was just a sad moment.
That's the pork chop story. I mean, it is funny, but it's not, guys. I mean, it's funny because I can handle it, but...
But can you imagine just like that person that couldn't handle it?
I feel like I'm not even that big.
You are not big at all.
Like, I mean, like, come on. Not everyone can be a certain, like, 80 pounds. Like, it's just not reality. But, anyway, do you got a crazy story for us?
Oh my gosh. I'm trying to shift through all the good ones. Might have a couple.
All right, which one do you want to talk about?
Should we just keep it to school right now, or should we drift off the page?
Whatever you want.
Okay,
Let's keep it about school.
Okay, we'll keep it about school. Okay. We've experienced this quite a bit, and I've heard it quite a bit. And this is not just our school. It is everywhere.
Yeah.
So any program is exhausting and rigorous. Any degree that you're going to go for, it's rigorous in its own way. But, I mean, I will stick to nursing school. I was on our bus. And we have to take a shuttle bus from our school to the hospital if we're placed at that hospital. And I was coming on my way back, and I don't know what year they were. But basically, they were these certain people were putting down people who weren't passing with certain grades, who weren't trying hard enough. One of them brought up a quiz score, and they thought that person was pathetic. And it was like a group of girls. And I was just sitting there, and I just couldn't even believe what I was hearing. One, because I just thought it was so low, them bashing whoever they were talking about or whomever they were talking about, their hard work. Or you never know what that person could have been going through. They could have had a funeral that week. They could have had expense issues, family issues.
Yeah, there's a lot of issues.
Or nothing. And they tried their absolute hardest.
Yeah.
But just sitting there and hearing people think that they're so better than everyone else, and they're not keeping in mind what other people go through, and they just associate numbers and letters to their achievements, to their hard work, to the type of person that they are. Oh my God, is so low.
Yeah.
I was so disgusted about it, and I posted about it on Facebook.
I remember you posted it. Oh my gosh. I'm thinking like that, guys. Come on. So I remember you posted it, and you actually texted me. You're like the first person that commented, that messaged you after you posted it was the person. And it's like, haters know when they get called out who they are and what they do.
Yeah, and I was just so shocked because that wasn't the only time I've heard that stuff.
Yeah.
Not from those same people, from other people. And those people, are you going to honestly tell me you've never had a hardship? Let's just stick to grades for this example. You've never had a bad grade, a bad quiz, a bad essay. You're really going to... Okay, great for you. Tell me your secrets then. Be a positive influence and share your secrets or your support.
No, I'm just kidding.
Ooh.
But
good topic.
I think a lot of people cheat, actually, and I think it's very scary when people, especially in nursing, because, you can cheat in an art degree, but you know what I mean? Like, that's not
cheat in a health
somebody.
profession.
Health profession, when you're cheating people's lives.
Ooh. Also sticking to school, when people find out people are repeating a course, they hunt them down. They try and act like their friend. They even try and start a relationship.
Oh my God, they be flirting, and I'm like,
flirting,
no, bro.
and
I'm not ready to mingle.
Putting on a show for everyone, and oh my gosh, and it's just so.
That person came up to you in the Starbucks. Why is it always Starbucks?
It's always Starbucks with me.
Coffee.
If Starbucks ever wants to sponsor me, I will do anything. Anything. I love Starbucks and Dunkin' Donuts. I am not biased.
But I remember him he was trying to flirt, but he was trying to be like, "Oh, are you repeating?" And it's like,
and I'm like, yeah,
we know what you're up to. It's not cool.
Maybe I can study with you sometime if I see you on campus. I don't even know what your first name is.
Yeah.
You don't even know what my first name is. All you know is that I'm repeating.
Yeah.
So, no. Guys, and then when you say no,
they get mad. That's where the hate comes.
They get mad. They start spreading it around. Oh, she's not going to help anyone out. No, I'm just not going to give you the answers to give you an easy ride.
Yeah.
Or, no, I am not going to date you to give you an easy ride. Come on, guys.
Yeah, you guys are too young for me.
Pull your heads out of, I'm not going to curse.
Yeah.
And get a reality check. And the people who are manipulating people to date them, to pretend to be their friend, get a life.
Yeah.
Period.
That's why they're still single.
I don't even want you as my nurse, if I ever found that out.
That's why they're still single.
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah, we can't make these stories up, guys.
No.
Like this, and I'm sure you guys experience hate, and you guys probably have crazy stories, and I would love to hear about them, because
please send them to us, please.
Yes, because don't be hating if we don't answer in an hour. But
and I bet you some people are going to message us. Were you talking about me?
I'll be like, yep.
That'll be in part 2. We'll update you in part 2, because there's definitely going to be a part 2 in this episode.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Especially how we respond to our haters, too.
Oh, yeah.
You can just say, oh, this person's hating, and I'm going to just ignore it. But sometimes you can't ignore it.
No, you can't.
So that will probably be part 2. But I think Guys, I just lost my thought.
I was looking at you. You were like
Wait,
ready, and I'm
what?
like.
I think another big thing for me is so guys like my parents like think my son is theirs, which is great. Like I get so much support and help. You know what I mean? And I love that. Like, but I think a lot of people envy that. You
Now,
know?
when you brought this up to me, I thought it was very interesting. I mean, because
Yeah.
I don't have a kid,
Yeah.
but
I think people get really like jealous and just like, oh, look at you, you got all that help and this and that. And I'm like, so what if I do?
Yeah, so what?
Like, my mom's the type of person who will be like, bring your kid over, I'll help you too. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I just think that's a big one for me.
Wow. I couldn't even, not that I wasn't aware of that, just
Yeah.
hearing that it makes me sad.
Yeah, definitely, you know, when or if you guys, you know, have kids or whatever, I feel like a lot of people experience that. They're like, oh, your parents help you with the kid. And it's like, yeah, so what?
Yeah.
I bet you wish yours would help you more. That's not my problem.
No.
My problem is me and my son. So I get hated on, I feel like, a lot for that.
Yeah.
You know?
And another naive one that I was going off of was, I experienced some hate in some people that I thought were close with me. And, well, I'll dive in more specifically in getting to know other people's partners. And, you know, those potentially can become very close in your life. But honestly, that reminds me of another good story, too, after this one.
I love juicy stories.
Ooh, this is a good one. But more specifically, I'll just dive right into the story.
Go ahead.
A girl that my brother dated. Now, okay, in this relationship, I thought I went above and beyond.
Yeah.
Within, you know, what was happening. I was off at college, or I was living in Philadelphia at the time.
Yeah.
And our age gap is 6 years apart. So, like, we, you know, that's a big age gap.
Yeah.
So, okay, so in this relationship, yeah, I wasn't texting her every day, calling her every day. It wasn't that type of relationship.
Yeah.
But I was so shocked to hear that it's been a back and forth with multiple people confirming it for me. She either was intimidated by me or hated me. Both of those I have a big problem with, because I don't know what I did to make her, one, hate me if that was true, or make her intimidated by me. I understand there's that big sister factor.
Yeah.
Like, I get it. But I don't understand that. Because also, too, if we were to evaluate it, you did not have any time for me whatsoever. Like, okay, like, when I FaceTime my brother, and you're clearly in the room, you didn't say hi.
Yeah, come over and say hi.
Be like, hey, like, how are you? Like, sort of thing.
Yeah.
Little things like that. But when I was talking to more people about it, because it was evident as day, like, she did not even want, not even.
And that's just petty too.
It is petty.
Like, and I don't do petty.
Oh, talking about petty. Let me just sprinkle this in.
Okay, go ahead.
One Christmas gift that she got me,
Yeah, what was it?
a crumpled bag of cookies. It's like that bag of cookies that's in the bottom of your bag, like in second grade. No, I kid you not. You could tell it
like
wasn't
all,
even
crumbled or whatever up.
Yeah, if it was like in your backpack and like the cookies have crumbled and started sticking to the side and like pencil lead on it.
Have like a bow on it.
It had a bow on it. I'll give it that. But I was like,
Crumbled.
I threw it right in the trash.
Guys, come.
So
What?
speaking of petty,
What
that
kind of
was
cookies were they?
chocolate chip sugar. I didn't even open the bag. Like, honestly, I just right in the trash. But I was like, are you serious?
Yeah.
I wasn't even expecting anything. Just don't get me anything. But when I found out more, it was because
Well,
I
especially
didn't.
she had money too. It wasn't, you know.
Oh, she had money.
Yeah, it wasn't like she was like broke and she made these homemade cookies and that was.
She made my brother buy so much
You know
stuff.
what I mean?
So much
you
stuff.
know, then we're not going there because, you know, it doesn't need to be an expensive gift.
No.
But
But
She was just doing it to be petty.
Yeah. So yeah, after like hearing why from other people and my brother, it was because I didn't do enough. No. It's like, no, I'm a part of the family.
Yeah.
I said hi. I said bye. I said, how are you? I even asked about her, took her out to dinner, came on family vacations. I know I'm a pleasant person to be around.
You are.
Approach me and be like, hey, do we have a problem? Like, no, girl, like, what? Like, okay, let me fix something. Like, I'm sorry.
Maybe she was jealous because I feel like you and your brother are so close.
Possibly.
I feel like, that might be it.
Possibly.
I still haven't met your brother, but I know you, like, love him, and,
I was just so shocked. So, and I know there's that intimidating factor with any family member, but, like, come on.
Well, they dated for so long. It wasn't, like, the first week. Like,
Yeah. I just
But
couldn't.
to give you, like, crumbled up cookies.
Yep.
Like,
That was just a smack in the face.
Yeah. Like, there's no reason for that. Like,
I was like, okay.
especially if she had the money, But that's crazy.
Yep.
Going back to another thing, I remember, this is kind of sad, guys. So I, like, you know how, like, you have that time to, like, take extra tests, or you get a separate room. I forget what they're called. I think they're, ICP, IPE, something like
ICPs
that.
Or something.
It's like an extra, like, plan with, like, your counselor. But anyway, I remember my parents were, like, in a meeting, and I was there. I was probably in, like, 9th grade, 8th grade. Like, I was, like, younger. And I remember, like, we were talking about, like, what I want to do. And, like, at first I wanted to be a vet, but then I changed careers and wanted to do nursing. And there was this LPN program. They were like, oh, we don't think she's, like, smart enough. Like, they said that in front of me.
Someone said that to me, too.
And, like, I remember my mom, like, flipping out. She's like, don't ever tell me what my daughter can and cannot do. You will not, just because my GPA wasn't 4.0. And I remember, like, I graduated LPN school when I was 19 years old. I was a teenager.
You didn't know anything at 19.
When I became a nurse. 19.
Crazy.
Still teenager. So, that was a really sad. They were really hating on me, and it wasn't all the counselors, but it was this specific one who was just like, please, like, you can't have her go to nursing school. She's not going to make it. And it was just like, why are you in this career of helping students achieve their goals?
Yeah.
If you're not going to support them. And she was just a miserable counselor anyway.
Yeah.
But that I don't know. That one really affected me.
Mm-hmm.
But
I've had that too.
Like, when I was going through nursing school, at the time I was like, oh, I'm not going to be able to make it. Maybe she's right. But I think, like, now that I'm going through nursing school again, it's like I see that and I'm like, well, I already went through LPN, so I'll just do the RN. And then I'll go get my bachelor's and PhD. Like, I can do whatever I want.
Yep, exactly.
So now I used it as fuel, but I never used to.
Mm-hmm.
Now, now I'm a little bit older, but...
I think, like, just not getting in your head and knowing the person that you are. If you're being blatantly rude, that's just different. But if you know you're a nice person, you're a kind person. And even in that moment, even if you did come off a certain way, but it just depends on, like, if a person approaches you about it. Sometimes you could have no idea. Yeah. I respect more people saying, like, hey, Bronte, I felt some type of way when you made that face. And I'm like, oh, I'm so sorry.
Yeah, because sometimes you don't realize, like, there is no filter.
Nope. Mm-mm.
A lot of people don't have a filter. But I think that's for me. Like, sometimes I don't realize maybe I'm being a little bit too outspoken or, like, too loud or too, like, whatever. And sometimes people have to be like, hey, Becca, did you realize you said it like that? And sometimes I'm like, no.
Oh, sorry.
I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the thing. Like, if you do something wrong, just say, I'm sorry. It's okay. It's not a big deal.
Sorry goes a long way.
And then don't just say sorry to change the behavior or try to work on it. If somebody sees, like, you trying to work on something after you said you're sorry, then you're fine.
Yeah.
But, I don't know.
Along with that, assuming. I get a lot of that.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's just the type of person I am sometimes. I've gotten it a lot, actually, where it's just been assumed and I actually have been hated on because it just seems like my life is so put together and I'm so, as people say, like, accomplished or have achieved a lot at a young age. It doesn't mean that I haven't gone through any struggles at all. I mean, in the our episode last week, I struggle a lot with anxiety, a whole bunch. And when people are like, oh my God, like, are you serious? Mm-hmm. I said some crappy stuff about you. I'm like, thank you. That's really great. What did you say? You don't even know me.
Or if you see somebody's life who's like perfect and then you assume that they went through nothing.
Yeah.
And I'm like, usually the people that you think are perfect have gone through a lot because it has taken them to go through a lot to be strong and be able to speak out on things.
Yep.
Nobody's born perfect. You know, if you are, great for you, but like, it doesn't happen, guys.
It took me a long time to not let people belittle how much I've achieved and how much I've went through. I'm not going to sit there and you belittle everything or some things that I just went through. Even just saying like, oh, you know, I'm sure you didn't have it that bad. No, it was pretty bad. But just because I don't want to post it all on social media or talk about it doesn't mean that people go through it. And I think just hating on someone just for appearing to have an okay life, appearing to be well in school, or appearing to be doing well in their relationships and their family. Nope,
and
don't
guys,
just assume.
That perfect picture that you see on Instagram or Facebook and that perfect little family or anything, like, you know, don't hate on it, but usually, like, everyone goes through struggles.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
You know, and, like, it's just, mental health is so important. So go watch our last episode, please, because that, we have got a lot of people that has messaged us saying that has helped.
And it's really awesome to hear. That made me really happy.
So, you know, go listen, but, do you have any other stories?
Gosh. Oh, this one goes back to my, college days at Temple. Shout out to Temple Owls. So I graduated back in 2014. And I was really close with some of my friends, and I still am to this day. But one story that really sticks with me, and I've gotten over it, but some things just really, really stick with me. I've had some friends completely just drop me because they assume something, and sometimes it's all in their head. And I'm like, I'm blown away. I've had one friend sit me down. She texted me, hey, can you come by? I'm like, absolutely. Came by. She sat me in a chair and told me she didn't want to be my friend anymore.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what? So I won't bore you with the whole story, but pretty much we didn't talk for like months. Then she texted me saying, hey, I haven't heard from you. I'm like, oh, girl, newsflash. You sat me down in your living room, didn't invite me to your graduation because that was our senior year.
Yeah.
Because of what? All on a hunch? I won't go into the story, but it was basically along the lines of that. And I get a text like months later, hey, I didn't think you were not going to talk to me. And then when we went through and she explained herself, I'm like, you just assumed and you just hated on me for something that was false. And she took the opinions of others.
I hate when people do that. I hate when people are like, oh, look at her, like, we hate her, this and that. And I was actually going to bring that up, like, when you're like, you know, you're around your friends and your friend will be like, like, they'll be like, oh, like, we don't like this person because this, and this. And you're like, oh, well, I'll just believe them because, you know, most people are gullible. And then they actually turn out to be a decent person.
Yes.
You know, find out for yourselves. Don't just start assuming stuff and start hating on people just because of what you heard. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like, make sure it's true. Make sure it's facts.
Yep.
Because it's not right.
And I don't know if any of you have had friends that have just dropped you. I have, and I know
that's sad that they just drop you. What kind of friend is that?
Yeah, I mean, I know you know it. I'm not going to say her name, but it's really affected me. And my friend Emily, shout out to Emily. She doesn't care if I say her name on here, so she definitely wants to come on here.
You have to call her in.
Mm-hmm. And she, this girl, I was friends with like since 6th grade. We were sisters.
Yeah.
Dropped. Absolutely dropped. And I still have no idea why. She's hating on me for something. Her last text messages to me, because I actually am an adult, and she was ignoring my calls, ignoring my FaceTime calls,
Yeah.
And the only resource I had was to text her. So I was like, hey, girl, I just really want to talk. Like, I feel like there's something wrong. You know what her response was, guys?
What?
Bet you can't guess. Would I send you a Christmas card if I was pissed at you?
Oh, no.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. That was her text. I'm like, oh, okay. Yeah, you're pissed.
Yeah.
The only...
Did she send you a Christmas card?
She did. And I texted her, I think, like a couple months later. You just feel something's wrong.
Yeah, you can feel tension.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You can feel something's wrong. And I just want to know. And you know there's something wrong when you just think about it. And,
Yeah.
like, all I wanted was just an explanation. Clear the thoughts out of my head. Maybe I'm a hypochondriac.
Well, and I hate when people have, like, a problem with somebody and then you get confronted. You're like, okay, what's your problem? They're like, oh, I never had a problem. And I'm like, you did have a problem.
You did have a problem.
And the fact that you don't want to, you know what I mean? Like, if you don't want to talk to somebody or if you have a problem, just say, hey, I don't want to talk to you no more.
Yeah.
Or, hey, this is the reason. People deserve explanation.
Yeah.
So, you know.
Especially if they're being a bigger person and going to you about it.
Yeah.
Give them the benefit of the doubt.
But at the end of the day, I feel like there's nothing you can do. You know, people are going to make their choices, but they're still hating.
Yeah.
You know, they're still hating. And, you know, now they see you, you know, you're almost done nursing school. You're making a podcast. You know, you look great. You're losing weight. Like, you're becoming... Like, I just feel like you're becoming a really great version of yourself. And you were already great before.
Yeah.
And it's like people see that you just keep doing better and better and better.
They hate it.
You know, and the fact that you can still struggle and continue to do better and better and better, you know, that you can sit here and be like, oh, like in our mental health, like I struggle with this, this, and this, but now it's like, but I'm still doing good because I'm taking the, you know, whatever you want to, how I'm losing my thought here. Like,
The necessary steps?
yeah, like the steps to become that better person. Mm-hmm. And I think that really pisses a lot of people off.
It does. It really does.
It's crazy.
And I am so thankful for this podcast because I know I've been wanting to talk about this for the longest time, because whenever I talk about this amongst friends, everyone, so many people, they're like, girl, everyone loves you. And I'm like, I believe you, but sometimes they don't. Like,
that's the thing, like, you'd be like, yeah, she's my friend and I love her, but it's like, do you really? Mm-hmm. Like, you know, and that goes back to, like, loyalty.
Yeah.
Not a lot of people are loyal.
Yeah.
And I think that's going to be a whole podcast in itself, is loyalty, guys. Because if you guys know me, my number one thing is loyalty.
Yep.
You know, everything else is secondary to loyalty to me. Because, like, when you really love somebody, when you really say that they're your friend and you're going to be there and this and that and I'm going to support you, you have to be loyal. Mm-hmm. But that would be a podcast all itself, I feel like, down the road. Or part of a podcast. But, I don't know. It's just haters are just haters.
Yeah, and I think, like, guys, like, if you hear someone is struggling, like, just say, let's say for grades or something, and they openly express, it already takes a lot for a person to openly express, like, hey, I failed an exam.
Yeah, it does.
Don't overshadow their sadness or their worry with how well you did on an exam.
That is so rude.
Yeah, I'm like, that's just not what you say. You know,
that's
just be like,
some people are very socially awkward and don't know what to say.
Yeah.
That's a whole different topic in itself, too.
Because I've told people that is not what you say in the moment. If you're wondering, like, that is not, that's not what you say. You say, you're going to do better next time. Or, hey, I didn't do too bad on this exam. How can I help you?
Yeah.
Can I offer you any tips? Don't overshadow them.
Just be like, oh, yeah, you got a C. Guess what? I got a 90, and then walk away. Like, that just shows you that that type of person is just very rude.
Yeah. Or have no idea what they're saying at all.
Yeah.
So,
You know what else I hate?
Huh.
Is I feel like exes, and I'm sure you guys have this too, is like, you know when you're in a relationship and you're doing good and like everything else, and they're always like they're always like, man, I wish I could do that. Or like, man, I wish that, like, good for you, but it's like they like always turn it about them.
Oh,
I feel like I've dealt with that a lot in my past relationships. They're like, oh, look at you, you're going to school, you're a great mom, you know, you're losing weight, like whatever it is, or like you're so happy or whatever. Like, now you're doing a podcast. But then it's like, okay, that's great. Like, but then, okay, but, like, I'm always like, well, you know, I'm doing good because I'm putting in the work. But what about you? Mm-hmm. But then they try to make you feel bad. I mean, at least I've dealt with that. But
Yep. I've had that too.
And it's like, come on, bro. Like, you're supposed to be, like, my girlfriend.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like, support me, but then, like, don't make it me feel bad because you're supporting me.
Yeah.
Like, go work on yourself.
Mm-hmm.
That's very frustrating. And I feel like that's hate, like, kind of haters in a form.
Yeah. It's just like, be there for each other. Even in a relationship, lift each other up, support each other.
Yeah.
Feed off of the energy that other person is thriving on. Mm-hmm. Like, let that inspire you. Why do you want to bring down the person that you're dating or with? Like, lift them up, and that's going to in turn lift you up as well and inspire you to do better. Mm-hmm. And in turn, your partner probably wants to do the same for you.
Yeah.
It's just crazy.
Instead, you turn to a narcissist.
Ooh, narcissist is going to be another episode.
That's going to be a couple parts. I'm excited for narcissist, but I feel like that's going to be personal.
Yeah.
So probably won't be for another couple episodes because I feel like I really have to, I mean, I'm already comfortable with this podcast. At first, I felt like the introduction was like, I was trying to find our way, but now I feel like, this is our fourth?
I feel really comfortable with it.
Yeah. We got these mics, guys. They're so cool.
I'm going to say it wrong. Mauno. Thank you for the
mics. They're so cool.
Awesome.
And they block the wind out because, you know, we recorded.
And the lawnmowers.
Every time we record,
there's a lawnmower in the back.
We're hating on the lawnmowers, guys. But, did you have any more stories? Because those are my main stories.
I hit the good ones because I wanted to put in stories that maybe everyone has experienced.
Yeah.
And that's why we want to hear yours. Like, there's all different types.
Send us yours.
All different types.
Shout outs. I mean, if we really like your story, we'll shout it out. Like,
yep.
We love shout outs. And soon we're going to have people call in.
Yeah. Oh my God. That's exciting. I'm excited for that one.
Maybe next one.
Yeah.
We'll have people, call in.
Ooh, that's a really good one.
And we can just put the phone up to the microphone.
Yeah. Or they could just write. Ooh, they could write in too.
Yeah.
Good one. Well, we got to gear up for part 2 on how to deal with haters because Becca's actually going away.
I'm going to Alabama, guys. Yay.
Yes, so she will not be here. So we're going to... Ooh, I hit the mic. We're going to pre-record another part next week.
Next week.
And
I'm excited,
content.
guys. I'm going to Alabama, flying out there.
Mm-hmm.
My sister got us like a beach house front.
I'm so excited for her.
So
I'm jealous.
I'm posting on our story, so make sure you watch out.
Oh yeah.
Might be a little tipsy, but
you deserve it.
Yeah.
You deserve the tipsiness.
But I think that I feel like we covered a lot with haters. Like I said, comment. Send us a message.
Let us know if you want some advice, too.
Yeah, and if you hate us, send us a message, too, because that makes
Let's be honest with each other.
Let's be honest, guys.
That's fine.
But I hope you guys have a good rest of your day.
Have a nice weekend.
It's Becca, and I'm popping off.
And it's Bronte, and I'm probably going to go get a Starbucks somewhere. So, peace.